Welcome back to the Cali G Kitchen and welcome to day 45 of your 101 day food and fasting program. Today we're going to have a honey herb roast chicken salad with a roast butternut squash soup. So we've got the roast butternut squash over there that we done yesterday, half of it even. We're going to upcycle that into some soup. Got a chicken here. We've got some garlic, some honey, some salt, some pepper and some oil. We've got some sage and we've got some thyme and we've got some rosemary. So first of all we're going to make a start on the herb paste for our chicken. We've got the oven on 150. The oven's on 150 degrees, being preheating, so that'll be ready as soon as we're ready to put the chicken in. But first of all we're going to chop up 3 cloves of garlic, just removing the skin from this garlic. So we're going to make our herb and garlic paste. So I'm going to chop this garlic as fine as possible. And you may have already seen me do this previously, but a way to kind of turn garlic into a paste, you add your salt and pepper and a little touch of oil, and we can actually add the rosemary here as well. The recipe does say to use some fresh thyme, but I don't have it. I couldn't get any basically, so I'm going to use dried thyme there. So once you've added some salt and pepper to the garlic, I'm also going to add the rosemary at this point as well. Just pull it from the stem, pull the leaves from the stem, and I'm going to crush this all up together. Okay, just a touch of oil. Just going to give this another little chop before I start trying to make it into a paste. I'm going to use the back of a spoon. I don't know if you can actually see that there. I'm going to use the back of a spoon and kind of just work this into a paste. Add a touch more salt there. The coarseness, if that's a word, of the salt just helps kind of grind the garlic up into a paste. Not sure as close as a paste as possible. I think this would usually work a little bit better, but I think that garlic is a little bit old, so it's a little bit more dry than usual. But that'll do just nicely. Into our bowl, because we're going to add some honey and we're going to add some more oil to the mix, as well as our thyme and sage. Going in with a tablespoon of sage. I'm going with a tablespoon of thyme. And then, how much oil did we have on here? 2 tablespoons of oil. 1 and 2. And then we're going to use a tablespoon of honey. Tablespoon of honey. Give this a good mix. We're going to use just another teaspoon of oil there. Extra virgin olive oil. And we'll set that aside until we're ready to coat our chicken. Nearly forgot a red onion. Remove the skin from this, and then we are going to chop it into discs, into circles, and then layer the Pyrex dish with it, and that's where our chicken is going to sit on top. Just be careful with your fingers here. What I also have is this butternut squash red pepper soup mix from yesterday that I bought. I'm going to just put this in as well. I'm just going to kind of make a layer for the chicken to sit on top of. Whoa, onions getting to my eyes. That's enough of that. Just going to tidy up here a little bit, and then we're going to move on to our chicken. Moving on to our chicken, I am going to spatchcock this chicken just so it cooks through a little bit quicker and cooks evenly. And then what we'll do, so it's on 150 at the minute. Once it's cooked for like maybe an hour or so, I'll take it out, I'll baste it in the juices, and then we'll turn it up just to get that skin nice and crispy. We've got a large chicken here. Just going to remove the neck first of all. You should already know how to do this because we've done this on day one. Day one was a spatchcocked honey smoked chicken. And you can also ask your butcher to do this for you if you don't want to do it. But it literally just takes a minute to do. And then you've got that, you can actually use that for a stock. But what I tend to do is just chop it up really small and give it to my dog. What you don't want to be doing is giving your dog any cooked chicken bones, but they seem to be okay when they are raw. Kind of when they're cooked, they splinter. So I'm just going to set this aside a second. Roxy will enjoy that later. And then with the chicken, kind of just flatten it out a little. If you want, you can score it. I'm not going to. What I might do though, just going to make some space in the breast, just underneath the breast, sorry, underneath the skin, between the skin and the breast. And even into the thighs actually. And I'm going to get some of this lovely herb flavouring marinade in there. Just kind of work that in there with a spoon. And the rest of it, and just go over the top. Basically trying to get as much of the skin covered as possible. And then we're just going to put this chicken on top of the onions and the veg. That will go into the oven, like I said, for around an hour, maybe an hour and 15. And then what we'll do, we'll baste it in the juices. And then we'll turn the oven on to around 220. And then we'll put it back in for around 10 minutes. We'll kind of just 10-15 minutes and kind of baste the chicken every few minutes. Basting the chicken just means pouring the juices over the top. It just adds more flavour and crispiness to the skin. So we're going to put a timer out for now. Check that in 1 hour. And what I'll do, I'll actually start the soup, because the soup won't take long at all to cook, and I kind of want to maybe steal some of the veg from the bottom of the chicken, just so I've got a big portion of soup. So yeah, I will make a start on the soup when we get the chicken out to baste it, and then when it goes back up to the high heat, we'll sort the soup out and then we'll dish everything up together. But yeah, we'll see you again soon for part 2 of day 45. See you again soon. Goodbye for now.